Have you ever noticed how quiet the world feels right before something bad happens? Like the air itself is holding its breath. Last night, when the streetlights went out, I looked out my window. I shouldn't have. Now, I don't think I'm alone in my apartment anymore. I live alone in a small apartment on the 6th floor. It's nothing special, just a narrow hallway, a single bedroom, and a window that looks out over the street. The building itself is old, the kind of place where the elevator groans like it's in pain every time you use it. Most of my neighbors are quiet. I barely know their names. At night, the only thing that breaks the silence is the constant hum of the streetlights below. They're not the modern kind. They give off this warm, yellow glow, flickering sometimes like they're tired of working. It's comforting in a way, those lights. They make the street feel safe. I work from home, so I don't keep normal hours. Sometimes I'm awake until 3 or 4 a.m., just sitting at my desk, drinking coffee, and watching the world outside my window. And in all those nights, I've never seen the street completely dark. Not once. Until last night. It was 2:47 a.m. I was half asleep, slouched in my chair, scrolling through pointless websites. The glow from the streetlights below was leaking through my blinds. Soft, steady. Then, it flickered. Just once. I barely noticed it at first. I thought maybe a moth had flown past the bulb. But then, it happened again. A quick, sharp blink, like someone had flipped the switch off and on. I got up, walked to the window, and pulled the blinds open a little. The street was empty. Not a single car. Not a single person. The light at the far end of the block flickered a third time. And then, the one closer to my building flickered too. Like it was spreading. I remember frowning, telling myself it was just a power fluctuation. This neighborhood's wiring has always been bad. But still, I stayed there, watching. One by one, each streetlight took its turn, flickering, longer and longer, until they stopped glowing altogether. The last one was right outside my window, and when it went out, the street disappeared into black. At first, there was nothing, just the hum in my ears from staring at the screen too long. But then, I heard it, software rhythmic, like someone walking, not on the sidewalk, not in the street, closer. It sounded wrong. The steps weren't echoing, weren't crunching on gravel or asphalt. They were thick, wet. I froze, didn't even breathe. The sound was coming from below my window. My apartment is on the 3rd floor. I don't have a balcony. The steps were getting louder, but I couldn't see anything. The darkness outside was absolute. And then, something scraped against the glass. Slow, deliberate, like a fingertip or a nail. I stumbled backward, knocking over my chair. The scraping stopped. A moment later, I heard my phone buzz. It was a message from a number I didn't recognize. One line. Don't look out. My first thought was that someone in the building was messing with me. But when I checked the sender, there was no name, no number, just blank. I tried to call back. The phone didn't even ring. It went straight to static. Not the soft kind, but sharp, like the sound of paper tearing inside your skull. I dropped the phone. It didn't hit the floor. It stopped, mid-air, like Something was holding it. A pulse of cold air washed over my hands. The lights flickered again, and in that flicker, I saw something in the glass. Not a reflection, not mine. It was a face, too close, too wide. The skin stretched, like it had been pulled over a shape that wasn't a skull. The eyes were just holes. But they were still looking at me, and then the streetlight came back on. The glass was empty. I didn't move. For a long time. I just stood there, watching the window. Every time the streetlight flickered, I thought I saw shapes. Not human shapes. Too tall, too thin. They bent in ways bones shouldn't bend. I started leaving the curtains closed, but somehow, in the morning, they'd always be open. I stopped sleeping in my bed, moved to the couch, facing the wall. But the wall isn't safe either. Last night, I heard breathing, right against the plaster. Slow, wet, like someone was pressing their mouth to the other side. I tried to convince myself I was imagining it, until I saw the wallpaper move, like something was pushing from underneath. I think it knows I'm here. I think it's been here long before the building was. And every time the street light goes out, it's not the dark that I'm afraid of. It's the space between when it goes dark and when it turns back on. Because that's when it gets closer. Tonight, the light's been off for a long time. Too long. I've been counting. 1 minute, 2, 3. The room feels heavier. The air is thick. I can hear footsteps. Not on the floor, on the wall. They're getting closer. Closer. I grab my phone. The battery's dead. I don't remember letting go, but the curtains are open now. And there's something outside the glass. It's smiling. Not at me. Behind me. Do you hear that? The street light just turned on.